Hey. All right, I'm up at the school on Thanksgiving break, and I want to make sure to get this video done because I have some kids who may be out of town next week, and honestly, just making this video now will be a helpful way to review when we get back. My 5th, 6th combo class is doing a whole lot right now, and they're learning the real math. One of the things we have to tackle before we do the really big stuff is understanding adding and subtracting integers. First, you need to know what an integer is. An integer is any whole number, so no fractions, no decimals. Yay, right? But it could be positive or negative. So when we are adding and subtracting these things, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. One of the key points I want to give you, a little tip now, is that a subtraction sign and a negative sign are pretty much the same thing. They're both expressing take away or less than. And that's important because from now on, I want you to notice the sign before the integer and group it with that integer. It's going to help you going forward in figuring out if you're adding or subtracting or what's happening. So there's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is if you have signs that are butted up against each other, parentheses or not, let me show you. Plus a -3. Yes, if you see that way and that's functional, I'm going to go through a couple ways to visualize adding and subtracting integers. By all means, add -3, but a lot of people don't like that. And in fact, you can simplify it. So from now on, when you see 2 signs that are right next to each other like this, work on simplifying them before you do the work in the expression or the equation. Okay, so if you see a positive next to a positive, which is really rare, it's not common, but nonetheless, if you see 2 positives, it's positive. Twins, yay! If you see a negative and a negative, again, it can be a parentheses or not, okay? Maybe it's inside, doesn't matter. 2 signs pushed together. These are going to be a positive. Again, 2 negatives, wow, twins, yay! If you have a positive and a negative pushed together, again, could have a parentheses in there or not, but nonetheless, no numbers in between. That is a negative, okay? They're different, the oddball out, and so they're the negative, okay? So now that I've established some of that, let's talk about ways to add and subtract numbers, okay? We're going to talk about 4 ways, okay, to add and subtract. The number line, what I like to call the elevator, okay? We also are going to do just an array or visual, if you're a visual person, and a lot of people use that this week, and that's great, because what you're going to do is get used to understanding it through the images and through your sketches and doodles, and eventually get really quick with it. So, big fan of that. And then the third is the signs, more algebraic, okay? The 4th, sorry. Okay, so let's get into it, and then we'll do some examples. Number line, I'm not a big fan of the number line. I don't know. But if you like the number line, okay, we're going to do all 4 with an example of, let's do 4 minus 12. And then, you know what, we'll do a second example. So this is a positive subtracting a positive. Or you could see it as a positive and a negative. Either way will get you what you need. Let me show you. So 4 minus 12, why did I do such big numbers? I don't know why I did that. All right, so 4 minus 12, we're going to say, okay, we're starting at 4. Let's do 4 here. So 3, 2, 1, here's my 0, okay? And I hope I did enough dashes. We're going to do 4. We're going to put our dot on the 4. Minus 12. Minus or negative, we're going that way. So we're going to hop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oops, I got 1. I did 1 short. That's okay. Not bad. And now you can use your number line and just count. Obviously, we're on the left side of the 0, so this is our final answer is going to be negative. and we're gonna find it to be -8. The elevator is very similar to the number line, but you would not believe how effective it is to just rotate it on its head. And really, it's not just about the rotation of the number line, but it's the visual. If you are the type that does stories in your head, this might be for you. Because for me, I can picture ground 0, okay? And that's what we're gonna do. We're always gonna start at 0 using the elevator method. So I walk into the elevator at 0. And I'm gonna go up 4 floors, or whoever entered the elevator. So we're gonna go up to 4. Okay, and then someone gets in and pushes down 12, and we're gonna go down 12. Again, you're gonna have to hop, but when you get there, you'll find that you're at -8. You're 8 floors beneath the surface. So we did a review of this at the beginning of the year, but they swear I didn't. And they're wrong, because I did, but it's okay that we don't remember and we need to review. But we had some sort of secret spy situation that might jog some memories. All right, this is the method that people seem to be liking the most, which is great. You're gonna take 2 symbols. I don't care if it's a smiley face and an X and an O, or a circle or a diamond, I don't care. I'm gonna do X's and O's. You need to remember which one's positive and which one's negative for you. Now, in this method, you're going to have to group the sign before the number with the number, like I've done here. In these 2 methods, we're doing 4 minus 12, and it's pretty straightforward. This method, I want you to see that minus as a negative, okay? I'm gonna do X's for positives. 4 positives, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 12 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay? All you have to do now that you've set it up properly, that's the key here, is cancel out your partners. So here's a partner, twinsies, and gone. They neutralize each other, and what are you left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives. You gotta remember that's a negative, right? So far, we've done all 3 here that are pretty straightforward and we like them, okay? So now I'm gonna show you same sign, okay, same sign, add. This is for those who don't need a story, don't like drawing doodles, and number lines are too much time. If you are more of a logic, number, calculator-based mind, I have a few of those, this is for you. And actually, I have to thank one of my students because none of these worked for them, and I had to pull out a few other methods, and this is the other one that I hadn't used in a while, but it worked for that student. So, enforcing again the idea that everybody learns differently, and if you teach a monkey that the whole world is lions, and they think they're a lion, they think they're gonna be a pretty crummy lion. But the minute you say, we got lions, we got monkeys, we got tigers, we got bears, and I say, oh my gosh, you might be a monkey. Turns out they have a whole different viewpoint on how decent of a monkey they are, how great they are at their skills. So teach all the methods. I don't want to hear none of this, oh, back in my day. Okay, all right. Work through your trauma alone, thanks. Okay, so same sign, add. Now, this is the one we're gonna actually probably take a screenshot. Okay. We're probably gonna make a new, I'm gonna erase some of this so I have some room. Different signs. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Okay, this is really just for me. Now, I told you, I'm gonna go ahead and erase some of this. Number line, elevator, arrays, okay? All right, now, I'm actually gonna erase our example too, because I wanna do 4 different numbers, 4 different examples with the same 2 numbers. We're gonna do 4 and 12, 4 different ways, and I'm gonna use this method down here, which is what your brain, honestly, will eventually start doing. It's a matter of if you need these other methods first to train your brain, okay? The ones I just erased. So I'm gonna do a positive 4 and a negative 12. Positive 4, positive 12. That one's easy. Negative 4, negative 12. Negative 4, positive 12. We're gonna do all 4 versions of these two numbers, these 2 digits, okay? Now I wanna point out too, real quick. What's that? Remember what I told you, you got two signs together, you can simplify it, which is why this is the same as that, okay? So, I digress. 4 plus a negative 12, okay, is a 4 and a negative 12. That would produce negative 8. 4 minus 12. Well, that's two positives, Ms. Vaughn. No, it's not. That is a positive 4. Take away 12. Okay? So I want you to start recognizing that these subtraction signs, negatives, are all kind of the same thing. They're representing a loss, a removal, whatever you want to say. So again, if you have two positives, they're positive. You're never going to see that. If you have a negative and a positive, that can simplify to a negative because you are adding a negative. You are adding something that takes away. It's like I'm adding a $5 coupon, $5 off coupon to my grocery list. Let's say I'm putting groceries on the cart or on the belt and I've added $15 of produce. And then I add a $5 off coupon. Oh my gosh, this is a great metaphor. I just came up with this. So that's $15 plus a negative 5, right? Or you could see it as, I hope someone watches this and thinks this is cool because I love this metaphor. $15 minus 5. Oh my gosh. So those are the same thing. Negative, negative is positive. Same metaphor. Okay. I got $15 of produce. Okay? And that's going to be out of my bank account. That's negative now. I'm looking at my bank account and I have to take away $15 to get all this food. And I put that minus 5 coupon on there. I'm going to be good, right? And she goes, oh, it's expired. I have to take away this minus 5 coupon, which means I'm going to add more money to my bill. Okay? I don't know. That one was a little over the head. Anyway, let's talk about these and this method right here. I know this is going on quite a while at this point. Okay, I'm going to leave those there. If you have the same sign, you're going to add them. Watch. Same sign, a positive 4, positive 12. Add them. That's 16. Okay? Here's another one. Whoa, whoa. This method allows you to not worry about all this, which is nice. I have a negative. Remember I said the sign before, right? It's not subtraction or negative, it's just negative now. I have a negative, and I'm adding another negative. You can see them as grouping. I threw 4 negatives, and then I threw 12 negatives into the same basket. Same sign, add. I'm going to add these together, and I'm going to make it a negative because they're both negative. Okay? Same sign, add. Woo, boy, this one was a life changer for a few of my students because none of this other stuff felt good. It all felt, I think, like it took too long. And this, they could look and go, oh, same sign, add. So again, if you had, look here, if you had negative 4 plus negative 12, oh, same sign, add, okay? All right, now, let's look at these two. If they have different signs, you're going to find the difference. And this is what I was telling them in class too. Okay, it doesn't matter what signs. It doesn't matter what signs. That was my mother-in-law. I'm going to call her back. It doesn't matter what signs there are. Numbers have the same relationship they've always had. So a 4 and a 12, no matter what, can only produce in add and subtract land 8 or 16. So no matter what method you did, right, because 12 minus 4 is 8, 12 plus 4 is 16. So it doesn't matter what method you do. If you do a method and you get like 9, and with these two numbers, check your work because you did something wrong. So go back and understand that and lean into that. So if you have different signs, you're going to take the difference, subtract them. Both subtract what? Doesn't matter. Ignore the signs for a second. Okay, 4 and 12. Well, but I don't know what 4 minus 12. Shh. What's the difference between 4 and 12? Just 4 and 12. Ignore the signs for a second. 4 and 12. What did I say? It had to be 8. right? It has to be 8, okay? Find the difference. Take the difference. And we're going to put the sign of the bigger number. Which number is bigger, 4 or 12? 12. And 12 is positive here, so -4 plus 12 is positive 8. Let's do the other one up here. I'm going to do a different color so it sticks out. We have 4 and -12. Remember, take the sign with it. What's the difference between 4 and 12? It's 8, right? We know that. So it has to be an 8. Is it a positive 8 or a negative 8? Well, the 12 is bigger than the 4, and she's negative, so our answer is negative, okay? This is a lot. I did a whole lot in this video. I want you to pick a method, stick to it for a little while. You're going to find that your brain starts understanding the relationships of positives and negatives, and it gets easier and easier. You're going to find that with practice, you don't have to do your arrays every single time or your elevator every single time. Trust in the relationships between numbers, okay? And like, remember your fact families. 8 plus 4 is 12. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. That is literally it. And so if I move these guys around and make positives and negatives, the answers are still the same. We're just adding signs to it, okay? So follow along with simplifying. If you got two signs next to each other, pick a method that works for you and just stick to it for a while. Don't vary from one to another, okay? And remember that you're taking the sign before the integer. So if it's a minus sign, now it's negative because you've grouped it with the number, okay? Okay, I hope this helps. This is video 1. I got another one coming.